Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Mira's Soul Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Sagittarius. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, please check your other placements. All right, let's get started.
Yeah. So, all right. For perfect example, for some of you, what you could very well be holding on to, what you could very well be holding on to, could very well be your apartment, your house. That's definitely a possibility because I feel like you're holding on to something. And like the first thing that came to my mind is property, property, property. I was kind of getting living situation. I feel like you're still holding on to that apartment, refusing to let it go, just in case things don't work out here between you and this person. At least you can say that, you still have your apartment to go back to, in case things don't work out here between you and this person, or at least you can say you still have your house that you can still go back to just in case, right? Things don't work out here, between you and this person. There is a huge possibility, that your person could very well be pushing for something more serious to transpire here between the two of you. So this person could very well be pushing for the two of you to get a place together. You may not feel comfortable to get a place with this person just yet, because you could very well be worried, right? Yeah, you could very well be worried about, what if it doesn't work out? I mean, then where are you going to live? Then where are you going to stay? Where are you going to go? If it doesn't work out between you and this person. I am definitely getting that for some of you out there that could very well be the case where things are starting to get a little bit more serious and they're kind of pushing for the two of you to get an apartment together, a house together, but you're just like, I don't know if I want to do that just yet, because what if things don't work out? I want to look at the Four of Pentacles. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles. Alrighty then. We have the World, we have the Death card, and then we also have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's an overall energy of you not wanting to essentially let something go. But again, I feel like this is kind of tied to like your living situation. Yeah, your living situation. You don't want to get rid of your apartment to go off and get an apartment with them because, God forbid it doesn't work out. Then where are you going to live? Then where are you going to go? You don't want to, sell your home because, God forbid if it doesn't work out between you and this person, then where are you going to live? Where are you going to go? You know what I mean? There's just a lot of resistance coming from you in regards to letting something in particular go. But it's stemming from a place of, but what if this doesn't work out? Then what am I going to do? Tell me more about the Seven of Cups. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Temperance card, and then we have the Six of Cups. Now, with the Ace of Cups coming out here and it's being clarified by the Seven of Cups, that's kind of telling me that the person that you currently find yourself connecting with is very crystal clear on you and what they basically want here with you. In other words, this person doesn't strike me as somebody who has any sort of intentions of going absolutely anywhere. In other words, it's like the best way that I can describe what it is that I'm seeing here. So if you're worried, you know what I mean? That this person's going to randomly switch up on you out of nowhere. I don't feel like that's anything that you have to worry about. If you're worried about this person, abandoning you or leaving you, I don't feel like that's, anything that you have to worry about, especially because of the energy that they're showing up here with. I feel like this human over here is like madly in love with you. I also feel like this person's very crystal clear on, you and what they basically want here with you. It kind of looks like you are literally all they see. You are literally all they want. I am kind of getting like an overall energy of them kind of being a little bit borderline crazy about you. Some of y'all may like that stuff. Some of y'all may not. But I am definitely getting an overall energy of somebody who is a little borderline, crazy about you. I feel like the love that they have, for you, it can get very, what's the word that I'm looking for? It can get very, toxic at times is kind of what I'm getting. But I mean, hey, you got somebody who's borderline crazy about you. So I mean, hey, there's that, you know what I mean? As far as like, I don't know, this person switching up on you or randomly deciding to leave you or abandon you, I just don't see that happening, especially because of the energy that they're harnessing. I do feel like this human is kind of borderline crazy about you, and I also feel like this person's madly in love with you to the point where it can get a little toxic and scary. So for some of you, I don't know, you might like that stuff, to each their own, right? But Yeah, dude, I don't think you have anything to worry about, but I get it. You just don't feel comfortable. You just don't feel comfortable just yet taking things a step further here. Um, with this person, and because you don't feel comfortable just yet, you're refusing to let something go in the process of it all. All right, how does this person currently feel? I mean, not feel. How does this person currently view this relationship? Sagittarius. Mm. Okay. All right. All right. We have the Four of Pentacles. We got the Hierophant, and then we also have the Two of Wands out here. Okay. In regards to how this person's currently viewing you and this relationship that they share with you, this human, okay, that you currently find yourself connecting with, they're pretty dead set on you and what they want here with you. This human is definitely thinking long term here when it comes on to you. In other words, I feel like they want you and this relationship that they share with you to literally be their last relationship. They don't want to start over. They don't want to meet anybody else. Like, they don't want to do any of that. Like, they really, really do want things to work out here between the two of you. And they're really, really hoping that this relationship that they share with you is literally going to be their last relationship because you guys are going to grow, old together and, things of that nature. With the Four of Pentacles coming out here, that's that gripping energy. That's holding on to something for dear life, refusing to basically let it go. They're holding on to you for dear life, refusing to basically let you and what they honestly want here with you go. Like I said, this human over here, they do not strike me as somebody who has any sort of intentions walking away from you and what they share here with you. And it's mainly stemming from a place of them not wanting to start over. It's mainly stemming from, a place of them not wanting to experience another failed, relationship. So with that being said, they're very determined, to make this relationship that they currently share with you work. They're very determined to make sure that this relationship lasts the test of times, is basically what I'm getting off of this person's overall energy. Okay. Now, like I said, it kind of looks like this person wants to take things a step further within their relationship with you. And it's mainly stemming from a place of, well, I know I want to be with Sagittarius. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with Sagittarius. So, I think we should go get a place together. You know what I mean? Because you're not comfortable with, doing all that just yet with this person, I feel like it is kind of causing this person to become very annoyed and aggravated with you because all they want to do is start building a life here with you, but they kind of view you as somebody who's currently delaying all of that because you refuse to let something go, which again, I feel like it has a lot to do with like a property, like, your apartment, your house if you got one. You know what I mean? It's like because you're refusing to let go of your apartment, because you're refusing to let go of, this house that you live in, it is kind of causing them to, essentially feel like you're not that serious about them like they are about you. Like I said, the fact that you're not being open and receptive to getting a place with them, it is kind of causing this person to become very aggravated and very annoyed with you because all they want to do is, start their life here with you, but they kind of feel like you're kind of delaying that. It is basically what I'm getting. Okay. How does this person currently feel? All right. So we have the Page of Wands. We got the Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Ace of Swords, and then we also have the Seven of Cups. Because you're not so open and receptive to like getting a place with them, it's causing this person to essentially question why is that. Okay. As far as like this person is concerned, you have led this person to basically think, believe, and feel like they're what you want, right? So they just don't fully understand like what's the problem here, Sag? What's the holdup here? Like what's going on, Sag? So I do see this person, feeling a need that they have to kind of get down to the bottom of why you're kind of delaying this process of, the two of you, starting this whole new chapter in life with one another. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the deal? What's the problem? So I more about the Seven of Cups. Yeah, this person is experiencing a level of pushback coming from you, and they do not like it. They do not like it. And it's mainly because you don't feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable just yet to let go of your apartment to go get an apartment with them. You don't feel that comfortable enough to, get rid of this house that you have to go purchase a home with them. You know what I mean? You just don't feel comfortable. And because you just don't feel comfortable, not only do they feel like, you're delaying this whole process of the two of you starting this whole new chapter here with one another, but it's also kind of causing them to, really question, like, how badly do you really want this? You know what I mean? Because like I said, you have led this person to think, believe, and feel like they are what you want. You have led this person to think and believe and feel like you want to spend the rest of your life with them. So what's the problem? Right. So I do kind of see them kind of trying to, get down to the bottom of what your deal is basically what I'm getting. How does Sagittarius currently feel? All right. You need some more time. Okay. It kind of looks like you need some more time to like really figure out if that's something that you want to go off and do with them or not. As far as like, getting an apartment with them is concerned or getting a house with them is concerned. A lot of you feel like you just need, a lot of you feel like you just need some more time to really, figure out if that's something that you truly want or if that's something that, you're truly ready for, is kind of what I'm getting. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Temperance card. And then we also have the Seven of Swords to the Judgment card. Your whole thing is that you just don't want to like make a mistake. That is like your whole thing. You just don't want to make a mistake. You just don't want to give up your apartment, move in with them, and then, in the end, it doesn't work out between the two of you. And you're left, trying to figure out where you're going to live and, things of that nature, which is not something that you even want to experience. Tell me more about Temperance. We got the Queen of Wands. Okay, we got the Queen of Pentacles. We got the Seven of Wands, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. You feel really pressured by this person. You feel really pressured by this person. And I don't necessarily feel like you like that. There's an overall energy of you just wanting this person to like, understand like where you're coming from. And to be completely honest, I feel like it is kind of hard for this person to kind of understand where you are coming from, Sagittarius, and that's something that really stood out to me when I saw the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles, because the first thing, like one of the first things that came to me is you need some more time, to really figure out if, this is something that you really want to do. You need some time to really figure out if, this relationship is honestly gonna, last the test of times or not. Like you just need some time to figure a whole lot of things out when it comes down to this person before you make this, huge decision to go off and get an apartment with them or get a home with them, right? Here's the thing, right? With the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles coming out here, Sag, and listen, dude, listen. It takes time, dude. It takes time to get to the Seven of Pentacles. It takes time to get to the Eight of Pentacles. So that's kind of telling me that you've had enough time. Like you've had enough time to really, really figure out, like, okay, like, is this the person that you honestly, can see yourself spending the rest of your life with? Yes or no? Is this somebody that you can honestly see yourself building and establishing a life with? Yes or no? Like, in other words, I feel like you've had plenty of time to really figure out, like, if they are what you want and if you're honestly ready, to take things up a notch. You know what I mean? Within this dynamic that you share here with this person. In other words, I don't feel like you guys jumped into a full-blown committed relationship with one another and, by the end of the week, they're already asking you to, move in with them or just simply get an apartment with them or a home with them. Like, no, I don't feel like that's how this played out. I feel like you guys jumped into a full-blown committed relationship with one another. I feel like you guys had plenty of time to really, really get to know one another, really get a feel for one another, to the point where now they kind of feel like, okay, like, I think that, we're finally ready to get a place together because, it's been a whole year, it's been 2 years. Like, I think we're ready to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's how this played out. But I feel like the way you're reacting is kind of like, like basically what I was kind of getting, it's like you're making it seem, Sag, like you just got with this person last night. Y'all just jumped into a committed relationship with one another last night. And now they're over here telling you, like, I think we should get a place together. I think we should do this. I think we're ready. Like, yeah, that's a little too fast. You know what I mean? And then I would have obviously agreed with you. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe this is kind of moving a little bit too fast. Maybe you should take time to really figure out, if this is something that you really, really want to do or not. You know what I mean? Because there is no going back. You know what I mean? Once you get rid of your apartment, or your house and you decide to move in with them, yeah, there is no going back. You know what I mean? So yes, then I would have obviously understood where you were coming from. But I'm sorry, with the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, that's kind of telling me that this person has been a part of your life for a little while now. You know, so you got to understand, dude, that when you hit them with the, but I just need some more time, and I really need to figure out, you know what I mean? If this is really going to work out between us, before we do this, I just need some more time. Just please understand me. But they're not going to respond so well to that, because again, this is not somebody that you just got with last night. You know what I mean? Y'all just jumped into a relationship with one of last night. This is somebody who's been around for a little minute now. You know what I mean? So in other words, homie, you had nothing but time to really figure this out. You know what I mean? So no, dude, I don't feel like they're gonna respond so well to you just, hitting them with the listen. I need some time to like really figure out if this is gonna work out or not. This is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, us moving in together, like, that's a huge deal. I just need some time to really figure out, like, if this is really gonna work out between us, if this is really gonna last between us. Let me tell you something. And I just said this, I believe in somebody's reading. You can never be 100% certain about absolutely anyone. You can never be 100% certain of absolutely anyone. You can't. I mean, and this is, this moment in time should be highlighting that to you. Again, I feel like this person has been a part of your life for quite some time now. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like you've had some time to really figure out, like, okay, is this the person that I want to be with? Yes or no? Is this the person that, I can see myself having a family with? Yes or no? Is this the person that I can see myself getting married to? Yes or no? Is this the person I can see myself getting replaced with? Yes or no? Like, you've had time, Saggy. You've definitely had time to really, really figure this out. You've had your time. And I'm just being honest with you. You've had, your time. You've had your time, So, there's that. But no, I don't feel like they're going to respond so well to this whole, but I just need some more time to really figure out if this relationship is going to work out between us or not. Like I said, dude, it's like you're waiting to, reach this level where you feel 100% certain of this person. And, I hate to say this to you, but you're never going to be 100% certain of them or absolutely anybody. You're just not. And this is, listen, at the end of the day, love is like a roll of dice. You never know what the hell you're going to get. It could totally work out in your favor in the end, or it could totally backfire, right? In your face in the end. But you got to understand, right, that you're not the only one taking a risk here. They are too. Because there's a huge possibility, right, that you could always up and leave them. Why can't that be a possibility, Sag? You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're more worried and concerned about, but what if they leave me? Then what am I going to do? Huh? What am I going to do? I just got rid of my house. I just got rid of my apartment, and then they turn around and leave me. Then what am I going to do? You know what I mean? That is your biggest thing is, but what if they leave me? And, what if they break up with me? Then what am I going to do? Right? It's like the same things you fear that could potentially happen is the same things this person fears could potentially happen. You're not the only one taking a risk here. They're taking a risk here too, because who's to say you don't get up and leave them? That's something that they would obviously have to face. That's something that they would obviously have to deal with. Who's to say you don't actually be, you're not actually the one who ends up breaking up with them and up and leaving them. That's a possibility. And they know that that's a possibility. You see what I mean? So just know that you're not the only one taking a risk here. They're taking a risk here too, They are. Just saying, Saggy. What actions? Okay. Ooh. All right. We have the Seven of Swords, we got the Five of Cups, and then we also have the Emperor. Yeah, this person's very disappointed by you. They're very, very disappointed by you, Sag. They definitely are. They're really disappointed by you. You just don't. That's your problem, Sag. That's your problem. I'm being real with you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know I am, okay? You know, the problem with you is that you like to play it safe a little bit too much. You like to play it safe a little bit too much. You're the type of person that needs to be 100% certain about absolutely everything that you get yourself into. But like I said, dude, you're never going to be 100% certain about absolutely anyone or absolutely anything. It's never going to happen. It is never going to happen. You're never going to find yourself ever feeling 100% certain about absolutely anyone or absolutely anything. Never. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like because you're refusing to give up your apartment, to, give up this house of yours, in the end, they're getting hurt, and disappointed by you. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Tower. We also have the Four of Swords to the Knight of Cups, to the Knight of Wands, to the Ace of Cups. Let's focus on this energy really quickly here. We have the Tower, we got the Four of Swords, and then we also have the Knight of Cups. So let's talk, okay? I kind of feel like there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have like the only moment of realization, okay? One thing that I do kind of see you essentially coming to terms with and accepting and realizing that, for one, dude, you can't be 100% certain about absolutely anyone or absolutely anything. Just like you taking a massive risk here by giving up your apartment, by giving up your home to go get a home with this one over here, it's the same risk that they're essentially running here with you, right? Because, yeah, I understand that you're worried and concerned about, but what if they leave me, then what am I going to do? I just gave up my apartment, I just gave up this, to go get a place with them, right? The same risk you are taking is the same risk they are essentially taking. You could always get up and leave them. That's a possibility, right? But that's just a risk that this person's willing to take. And here's why. Because deep down inside, they know that you are what they want. Deep down inside, they know that you are the person that they want to spend the rest of their life with. So with that being said, this is why. You know what I mean? They're choosing to take things a step further here with you. This is why they're choosing to take a massive risk here. And they essentially know, right, that there's a huge possibility that all of this could totally backfire in their face. But they're still, they're still willing to take a chance to see what could essentially happen here between the two of you, because there's a possibility that maybe it doesn't really blow up in their face in the end, and they end up spending the rest of their life with you and growing old with you. That's a possibility too, right? At the end of the day, there's only honestly one real way to find out if this relationship is honestly going to last a test of times or not. And that would require the both of you to see this entire situation through. And if it blows up in your face, if it blows up in their face, and it blows up, you know what I mean, in your face or in their face, or even the both of you, right? Or it doesn't, and then y'all grow old together. You know what I mean? Because both things are very possible to happen. It could work out in the end, or it may not work out in the end, but there's only one real way to find out, and that requires you to see this entire situation through in order to see, is this relationship going to honestly last the test of time or not? So I feel like when you do turn around and leave this person extremely hurt and disappointed because you refuse to take things a step further here with them, I feel like it's going to like open your eyes, and it's going to put a lot of things into perspective for you, that you are kind of low-key self-sabotaging a really good opportunity for yourself, because you rather sit up here, dude, and play it safe. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're doing. You're sitting up in this relationship playing it safe. And when it comes down to love, there is no such thing, you know what I mean, as playing it safe. There is no such thing of playing it safe when it comes down to love. Love is like a roll of dice, you know what I mean? You might end up winning in the end, or you might end up losing in the end. That's a possibility, but roll the dice either which way. You know what I mean? Don't prevent yourself from rolling the dice because you don't know what's going to come out. Roll the damn dice. You know what I mean? And whatever comes out, comes out. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like in the end, you'll eventually come around. But I feel like it's going to take you seeing how hurt and disappointed this person actually is in you to wake up and realize, like, damn, like, I could be self-sabotaging a really good opportunity because I'm too scared, you know what I mean, to let go of this, to let go of that, to go off and do this with them, you know what I mean? And it's because you are scared, you know what I mean? You are definitely scared. And that's the thing, so are they. They're scared too, but this fear that they're experiencing here on their end, no, it's not. It's not stopping this person from still wanting what it is that they want with you. It's not stopping this person from wanting to take things a step further with you. This fear on their end is not stopping them, but it's stopping you. You know what I mean? So it'll hit you, dude. It'll hit you, and you'll kind of realize, like, damn, like, I need to stop living in fear. I need to stop anticipating and expecting the worst here when it comes down to this person. Like, I need to just Take that leap of faith, take that risk, and you know what? Whatever the hell happens, happens. You know what I mean? That's the mentality I kind of see you harnessing. That's basically what I'm getting. What actions? Mm. We have the Chariot. We have the Magician, and then we also have the Five Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Devil. I'm gonna have to call you out on this, Sag, and you already know how I am. You already know how I am. I'm just gonna be honest and transparent with you. I'm like your BFF here, okay? Just watching over you, you know. When this person turns around and essentially makes you feel like they're not respecting how you feel and respecting the fact that you just need some more time to really figure out if this relationship is honestly going to work out or not. You know, I kind of see you falling into this, you know, this energy of essentially justifying their reaction and response towards you. In other words, when you turn around and tell this person, yo, I need some more time to really figure out if this is going to work out or not, and this person turns around and tells you, yo, but like we've been dating for like a good like 2-3 years now. What do you mean you need more time? I don't understand. What do you mean you need more time, Sag? Explain to me, why do you need more time? You know what? You're just not taking me seriously. You know what? You just don't want this. Like, let's just say for a perfect example, they throw all of that at you, right? And it turns into a really big fight/argument. You're going to use this person's response and reaction towards you, and you're going to sit there and justify, you know, you see, this is why. You see, this is why I don't want to give up my house. This is why I don't want to give up my apartment. This is why I don't want to move in with you, because look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. You're attacking me. You're not respecting how I feel. You know, look at how you're acting. Look at how you're acting. And I'm being honest with you. That's exactly what I see you doing here. So the moment they respond and react in a way that so in regards to how they respond and react towards you needing more time, Saji, it's gonna essentially, you know, cause you to essentially feel like, you see what I'm talking about? See why I'm hesitant? You know, I'm getting a place with you because look at how you're acting. Look at how you're acting. Look at what you're doing. Look at how you're coming at me. All because I'm not ready to give up my apartment. All because I'm not ready to give up my home to move in with you or to get a place with you. You see, this is why I'm hesitant. This is why I am the way that I am in this relationship, because look at how you're getting. You're avoiding the real problem here, Saji. And I'm being honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you anything different, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You're avoiding the root of the problem here. And the root of the problem is that you're trying to play it safe when it comes down to love. And you can't. You cannot play it safe when it comes down to love. I'm sorry. I wish there was a way, but you just can't. You cannot play it safe when it comes down to love, because if you continue to play it safe when it comes down to love, you're going to never get married to this person. You're never going to get a home with this person. You're never going to have a family with this person. You're never going to do a lot of things with this person if you just play it safe. And to be honest, if you're going to avoid getting a place with this person, getting married to this person, having a family with this person, what are you really doing here then with this person then? Like, what are we doing, Saji? What are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? Like, do you expect, you know what I mean, to like, I don't know, live in 2 separate houses here? Like, you know, for the rest of your life and for the rest of their life, you know, are y'all just gonna live in 2 separate houses here? Like, how does this, you know, what are we doing here, Saji? You know what I mean? Like, you can't. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot play it safe when it comes on to love. Because if we keep doing things your way, you know, y'all are gonna continue to live in 2 separate houses. Y'all are never gonna live together. It's like, you know, that's no, we can't do that, Sag. We can't. We can't do that. We cannot do that. You know what I mean? Love is like a roll of the dice. You don't know you don't know what the hell you're gonna get or what's gonna come out, but roll the dice either which way. Don't be afraid to roll the dice. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like eventually when you kind of like come to your senses, you're gonna essentially realize that what you're doing here. And what you're doing here, honestly, is self-sabotaging a really good opportunity between you and this person, because you want to sit up here and play it safe. And you can't do that. Not when it comes down to love. You can't. Maybe like a friends with benefits sort of situation. Maybe you can get away with that, you know, living in 2 separate houses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's different. But I'm not looking at a friends with benefits sort of situation. I'm looking at a full-blown committed relationship between 2 people. You cannot sit up here and play it safe. You just can't. You know what I mean? This requires you to take a chance. This requires you to take a risk. And listen, I'm a firm believer that you will eventually come to your senses. I'm a firm believer that you will eventually realize that, you know what? I can't. I can't actually play it safe with this person. I can't. And it's because you can't. You know what I mean? You just can't, Sag. You can't. You got to understand that you got somebody here by your side who loves you. You got somebody, by your side who wants to build and establish a life here with you. And in order for, the two of you to come together and create this life that you guys want with one another, you can't do this anymore. You can't. You can't do this anymore, Sag. You can't continue to sit up here and play it safe. You just can't. You just can't, because if you do, this relationship is going to go nowhere, and it's going to go nowhere fast. So I just said this in somebody's reading, and I feel like that's something that you really need to hear as that message came to me, and I see what's at the bottom of the deck here. Which is interesting, because the person that actually got this message, they actually had the Nine of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups attached to their energy, which is interesting because you literally have that attached to your energy. God forbid, right? And I don't even remember the zodiac sign that message was for, but God forbid, right? If this relationship doesn't work out in the end, all right? God forbid, right? The fact that you harness Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups energy is kind of telling me that you're going to be perfectly fine if this relationship if this relationship actually does come to an end, because you're not that type of person, that's with this person because you need them. You know what I mean? You're with this person because you want to be with this person. In other words, you're not codependent off of them financially. So, with that being said, if this person were to up and leave you and walk away, you could be able to, hold down the fort all by yourself, you know what I mean? Or just get another place, because you don't need this person for absolutely anything. You just want this person in your life. So find comfort in that, Saggy, that God forbid if this thing does go left here between you and this person, just know that you're going to be okay. And I'm pretty sure you're going to make sure, right, that in the end, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Stop living in a state of fear. Stop playing it safe, because you can't play, you cannot play it safe, when it comes down to love. You just can't. You just can't, Sag. So, with all of that being said, take that chance and take that leap of faith, and just know that no matter what in the hell happens here between you and this person, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be good. Okay? You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be good. I want to pull a romance angel card for Sagittarius in regards to the spread. All right. So we have unrequited love, which is very, very similar to the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, right? And then we also have you deserve love, you are lovable. For me as a reader, you deserve love. It kind of reminds me of like the Ace of Cups. I feel like this is where you're at within this relationship, right? I feel like you want to pour into them. You want to pour into this connection. You want this new beginning here with them. But I kind of feel like because you're too busy trying to play it safe here, it's causing you to kind of feel like it's not entirely safe, right? For you to fully go there with this person in the ways that you really want to. Because, see, it's not that you don't want to get a place with them. It's not that you don't want to take things a step further here with them. Because I feel like you genuinely do. You genuinely do. I mean, you're looking at this person, as somebody who you can totally see yourself building and establishing a life with. So that's not the problem here. The real problem is that you want what you want here with this person, but you're refusing to let something go in the process of it all, right? Because you're concerned about how this can totally blow up in your face, which, again,